On today's show, we wind the clock back to 2018 and firstly head to Sydney Dragway, where we look back on the opening round of the 2018-19 400 Thunder Top Fuel season from the East Coast Thunder. It's nitro-burning warfare at over 500 kilometres an hour. Then we head to the Ben Motorsport Park in South Australia and look back on the highly entertaining opening round of the 2018 Australian Endurance Championship, forming part of that year's Shannon's Nationals. This is Speedweek.
It was a win for the ages, a defining moment in Australian motorsport. On a wintry June afternoon at Ipswich on the outskirts of Brisbane, Kelly Betts became the sport's first female professional drag racing champion. Wayne Newby, he's got the whole shot.
It looks like Kelly Betts has got the legs.
16,000th mark. We've got a female Australian champion. To win the Top Fuel Championship in her debut professional season was an outstanding accomplishment. But all that is now in the history books. Kelly's Top Fuel title defence starts right here at Sydney Dragway, the home of the East Coast Thunder. Welcome to a very warm Sydney Dragway for the East Coast Thunder. We've got Top Fuel on the card and it is round one of the 2018-2019 Championship. All the conversation today is the heat. Day one, the qualifying, Friday, 39 degrees. That's really going to affect things, and our reigning champion is going to know all about that. Kelly Betts coming into this event trying to defend the championship she won in her rookie year. She's with Rusty Gregory.
I'm with Kelly Betts in the Top Fuel pit area. First event back in terms of championship chase this season. 5 cars in Top Fuel. It's a solid field, not a huge field, but a very, very solid field. It's not going to be an easy way to defend your championship.
Yeah, look, there is only 5 cars, but every car here is a championship contending car. Like, they're all very good quality cars, and I think we'll see some great racing still out there. So it's going to be very interesting. Anyone here can take it out.
There's been a lot of talk over the last couple of months, ever since you won the championship, about the impact of you winning this Top Fuel Championship. You're the first female professional series champion in Australian history. The kind of stature that puts you in when you look at champions around the world, Brittany Force reigning Top Fuel champion in the NHRA. You're looking at the European Top Fuel champion. Women in drag racing are really going through a bit of a purple patch at the moment, aren't they?
Yeah, it seems coincidental that we all won it in the same year. It's awesome to see. Never happened before, and it just shows the strength of females coming out in the sport, I suppose. So it's a great thing, and I think it's opened a lot of people's eyes and a lot of young girls' eyes, which is great.
In terms of the championship last year, obviously coming out as a debutant, it was never going to be an easy job to win the championship. You came out, had a little bit of a patchy start, but then you hit a purple streak in the middle of the season, won 3 consecutive events. Did you ever think that was possible in your first season in Top Fuel?
I definitely always had in my head anything was possible with it, and I said to Phil at the very beginning, I'm coming here to win championships with you guys. Like, I always wanted to keep that in my head, because if you lose sight of that, then you'll never get it. So you always have to have it in your mind that you can do it. Yeah, it started out a little bit patchy. Obviously, the new car, still getting their heads around it. So once the team got their head around it and found what the car wanted, then we were set, you know. So hopefully we can continue that now.
Let's have a look at those points from the last season. Kelly Betts won the title by the skinniest 2-point margin. Ashley Sanford from the US came into third, and the RAI Autosport International teammate Wayne Newby into that fourth spot. It is going to be on again as we move now to qualifying session number 1 for Top Fuel. Sydney Dragway, the East Coast Thunder, and as I said, it's been so hot. Mark Allen here with me. Mark, what's this heat going to do for the tune-ups and the crew chiefs?
Mate, this weekend the crew chiefs are going to earn their pay packet. The track conditions at these sorts of temperatures, trying to get a 10,000 horsepower vehicle down the track. You're going to have to manage the clutch systems, the fuel setups, the tyre pressures. It really brings back these teams real close together. The crew chiefs, they're going to be. It's going to be a tight, tough weekend for them.
Well, and of course, then you've got another curveball for this team. This is Wayne Newby. He's behind the wheel of this new dragster for Rapisada Autosport International that Santino Rapisada is crew chiefing. They have only done one launch with this car since putting it together. So the whole curveball of the heat and a new car combination, that team is going to be creeping up on it, I would suggest, not trying to rotate the earth first up. In beside him, Bruce Reid in the Reid family car, and of course, big news there with their crew chief.
Yeah, Jim Oberhofer over this weekend from the United States of America, a crew chief with massive pedigree, has won a lot of events in the NHRA series. He's on board this weekend, and I'm sure these conditions probably wouldn't see that too often in the NHRA.
Yeah, but the fact of the matter is that all the teams have to run in the same conditions on the same racetrack, so it's a great leveler. I don't think we'll see any national record performances this weekend, but I think we're still going to see some very fast, exciting racing. There's Phil Reid in the car they affectionately call the Black Mamba, up beside this canopy car for Wayne Newby. You notice the full windscreen on that, fully enclosed, a little bit fighter jetish.
Yes, first pass down for the new season in a new car. Each chassis has its own personality. What will we see from Rapisada team here?
Testing was casual for them. Both cars overpowering the racetrack by the look of it to me, Mark.
Yeah, you know what though? They're going to learn from this pass. It is the first pass of the weekend. They'll go back, have a look at the data. They'll see where they need to pull power out, where to put some in. But you know what? They got down about 100 feet both cars, and it's promising.
Yeah, we can see there on the replay that the cars just started to make smoke, spin the tyre, and both drivers are right off the throttle. Rusty's down with Jim Oberhofer.
Yeah, guys, absolutely. Dan here with guest crew chief for the weekend for Phil Reid, Jim Oberhofer. Mate, great to have you back over here. It's a place where you've got a lot of history. How's it feel to be back at Sydney Dragway?
I love being here. I mean, Jim Reid, Bruce Reid, Phil Reid, Sano, the Lamatinas. I mean, these guys are like my Aussie family. Man, I love these guys, and this is just a great place to great place to race, and the fans are awesome here. I mean, it's truly just a great thing to be here.
Now, we better talk about the run. Obviously, tricky conditions this first round of racing. We knew it was going to be hot. Everyone knew that it was probably going to be a tough one to get down. Did it do what you expected it to do?
Well, we'll go back and look at everything. Bruce and the boys have done a real good job with the car over time, and they haven't run it in a while. So, we're just pecking away at a couple things. Bruce came over and helped us during the middle of the year on the Coletta car, and we talked about this a lot. And so, basically, we're just trying to learn and trying to see what happens. There's no magic wands. There's no anything. But guys are awesome. They're doing a great job on the car, and hopefully we can do good here.
Best of luck for the rest of the weekend, mate.
Well, there's certainly no shortage of talent amongst the crew chiefs here this weekend. The next pairing coming forward, we have got two of the Rapisada Autosport International cars. And of course, it's Damien Harris, the guy that missed the championship by just 2 points. And he's taking on his teammate Ashley Sanford across from the USA once more. But this may even be her last race in Australia, Mark.
Yeah, she finished third in the championship last season. Potentially, this could be her last race because she has got potentially a ride in the United States of America, a full-time gig over there. And who would we be to stand in the way of that?
Yeah, we're hearing that she's very close to signing a contract in the USA, but we're delighted to have her back here at Sydney Dragway for this East Coast Thunder opening round of the Top Fuel Championship. Now, Mark, we talked about the conditions, but I don't think people realise just how hot it is.
It's 39 degrees atmospheric temperature right now. The track temp you could cook an egg on is 50 degrees Celsius track temperature for these top fuel dragsters.
Well, these cars, I mean, they're running the nitromethane fuel. We're talking upwards from 10,000 horsepower each side of the racetrack. Taming that down to get it to stick, to make sure you keep traction in these conditions, that's the challenge that the crew chiefs have got. There's Rob Cavannino. He's crew chiefing the car of Ashley Sanford. And, of course, Santo Raposado Jr. is the man calling all the tuning shots for Damien Harris.
Yeah, the first pairing out of Top Fuel. We've seen both cars get to about 80 to 100 metres out from the start line, smoke the tyres.
This is fantastic drone shots we're getting here at Sydney Dragway. Friday afternoon, it's hot. The crowd will come in tonight, we hope, but I've got to say, warm, warm, warm. Let's see what happens on the track. That was a good performance. 395 for Damien Harris, 491k, 4 1s for Ashley Sanford. Rusty, that's great.
Absolutely, it did, guys. Down here with crew chief for Damien Harris, Santo Raposado Jr., mate. First 3-second runner of the weekend and in the heat of the day. Congratulations.
Yeah, I really wanted to try and run. I told Phil Lamartina it was going to run 95, and it did. We need to learn for these January races we got coming up, so we're in it to win it.
Absolutely, short and sharp from Junior there, and he's going to go down to pick up his driver. I can tell you they are very, very happy with that 395, guys.
And so they should be. I mean, Ashley Sanford lost a supercharger belt late on that run. That may have just cost her a couple of hundredths, but both cars will get plenty of data out of that. Mark, that's a good run.
It was a really impressive run in these conditions. You know, these guys really think about that next event, but on track, Kelly Best, the reigning defending champion.
Short, sharp burnout for Kelly. She's seen what's gone on before her. She saw Ashley Sanford get right down the middle of that lane that she's going to run in. She's got a little bit of an advantage in that she has raced since the Winter Nationals. She went up to Darwin's Nitro Up North event, did a bit of match racing up there in very hot conditions. So that may actually help the team, Mark.
Every single time these cars are on track, they learn. So the more passes, the better you become. Your race procedure improves as well. The crew chiefs learn. The driver gets better. And in Kelly's case, you know, she's still only been driving for 12 months in a Top Fuel dragster. So every little bit helps.
Well, there's the crew chief, Aaron Haimbridge, just will be making any final adjustments needed. Leaning over the top of the injector hat there. 5 cars in Top Fuel this weekend at the East Coast Thunder. So there will be buy runs up for grabs in round 1. It'll come down to who qualifies where. Kelly knows that. She's off to defend her championship. Can she do it?
Oh, fireball there for Kelly. Rolls through for a 4:07 pass, 411 kilometres an hour. Rusty's on the start line with team owner Phil Lamartina.
Absolutely, guys. Down here with team owner for Kelly Betts, Phil Lamartina. Phil, that was a pretty good barbecue she had on board there.
Yeah, look, until you get it back, you don't really know. It could be something quite minor, but it could be something major as well. So we'll just see what happens.
First time out as reigning champions in terms of the championship series. I noticed everyone's wearing these shirts on the crew as they came out to the start line. You guys are proud of what you achieved last season, as you should be. Congratulations.
Yeah, no, thank you. And, you know, the conditions are the same for everybody, so we just got to work out how to adapt to them conditions, and we'll see how we go. There's no pressure.
Well, there you go, guys. No pressure at all. Reigning champions in the 400 Thunder Series for Top Fuel. And he says they're not even feeling it.
I think Kelly would have felt that because it looked like a pretty good boomer. Have a look at qualifying after session 1. Damien Harris leads the way, 395. Kelly Betts in there with a 407. Ashley Sanford, 415. Phil Reid and Wayne Newby with some work to do.
Now we move into qualifying session number 2. The sun has gone down. It is cooling here at Sydney Dragway. First up, we've got Phil Reid.
You're correct. It is cooling. It's gone down from 39 degrees to about 32, so it's still...
I didn't say how much by.
It's still quite warm. Friday evening, and, well, I think the heat's kept the fans away, but we know they'll be here on race day for the East Coast Thunder. Solo pass coming up for Bruce Reid. They smoked the tyres when they broke traction in the first qualifying pass. Hell of a brains trust on this team. There's Bruce Reid guiding his brother back in the driver's seat.
I tell you what, the team have had some really impressive half-track performances here at Sydney Dragway. They raced all 3 events here last season. To half-track, they were one of the quickest teams. If they can get this Black Mamba Top Fuel dragster all the way to the finish line, watch out.
I have to say the car looks great in its new colours, running for Kalita Motorsport, of course, McDonald's, Premier Hire. The Jim Reid Racing Team, iconic in Australian drag racing, but that's not going to go down in history as an iconic pass. That just smoked the tyres on the head of the throttle.
Instantaneous, yeah. That was straight up in smoke there for Phil Reid. There might have been some issues with the car there, but Rusty on the start line with crew chief Bruce.
Maybe. It was an interesting one. It's been a long time since I've seen a car go up in smoke. In fact, this bloke over here, Bruce Reid, come over and talk to me, mate. You've got some help this weekend from Jim Oberhofer. A few problems on that one, up in smoke at the hit, mate.
Too many cupcakes at lunchtime. So, no, we actually backed the car down from the first run and we didn't change the start line because it left so good. So it is a little bit of a head scratcher, but we'll go back and have a look at the data.
You got a good brain working on it with Jim Oberhofer in the camp this weekend, mate. Yeah,
we're blessed to have him down here, and he's a good set of eyes on the computer, and he talks in the next language up from us. So it's sometimes it's hard to keep up, but it's a blessing to have him here.
That's what you get with that kind of experience, mate.
It is. Thanks.
Well, if it was easy, everybody would do it, but that car absolutely struck the tyres almost on the head of the throttle, Mark.
Yeah, it was a strange one, as Bruce pointed out there, but you know what? They've got the right man in the background with the team helping them out.
Well, here comes Wayne Newby, this new canopy car. Very swoopy, almost stealth fighter-ish. And of course, always on the back of the Rapasada car wings is in memory of Louis, because the team certainly do race in the memory of the late great Louis Rapasada, who lost his life to the sport of top fuel drag racing. And these younger brothers of his, who he never actually met, are certainly doing a wonderful job of keeping the spirit of Louis alive with these cars. Wayne Newby, this is a brand new deal. It's got to be a case of step slowly, doesn't it?
It does. It really is. It's a new car. We spoke about it earlier, but each car does have its own personality. So every time this car gets down the track, it'll get quicker. They'll learn. Wayne Newby, he's coming off a season, probably one that they probably not really happy with. Finished 4th in the championship after winning the 400 Thunder Top Fuel Championship the previous season. So they'll be looking to step up again this season in this new car.
He's certainly very excited. I talked to him in the pits, and yeah, he's very, very convinced this is the way to go with this new chassis. Of course, running for Titan Cranes and Atlantic Oils and the Rapasada Autosport International team. Well, that looked pretty nice. 3999, and it looked a little bit early on the shut-off mark, 442 kilometres an hour.
He definitely shut off early, 3.99 seconds. He joins the 3-second club here this weekend in qualifying. Have a look at the replay. That car got out of the hole fast. It was on a good number, and it wasn't a full pass, as you mentioned, Rob.
Looks smooth. That's the main thing. When they're smooth, they're fast.
That's it, and it's a new car. You've got to be happy with that.
Look at that shot from the braking area. I thought we were looking at smoke, but the wind has just raced in here at Sydney Dragway. A crew getting covers on the Christmas tree lights. That is rain starting to fall now. So the second qualifying session wasn't completed, so it won't count. We go back to the times from the first round. Damien Harris on top of the sheets, Kelly Betts, Ashley Sanford, Phil Reid and Wayne Newby. That's the way they're going to line up in eliminations tomorrow. So, we're going to be back after the break with all of the action from Sydney Dragway's East Coast Thunder. Put simply, Top Fuel dragsters are the fastest accelerating wheel-driven vehicles on planet Earth. They may not quite defy physics, but they certainly do push it to the limits. These cars accelerate from 0 to 200 kilometres an hour in roughly 1 second, while covering less than 30 metres of the racetrack. 2 seconds later, the dragster has travelled 200 metres down the track from the start line and reached 450 kilometres an hour. It covers the final 100 metres of the drag strip in just 0.7 of a second and has peaked at 525 kilometres an hour. The driver is then thrown forward against the seatbelts, experiencing negative 4 Gs as the 2 large parachutes and massive carbon fibre brakes violently slow the car almost as quickly as it accelerated. Let's take another look at that in real time. So what's it take to make all this happen? It all starts with horsepower. The heart of the beast is its fuel-injected, supercharged 8.2 litre V8 motor. The engine block and heads are machined out of a solid lump of high-grade aluminium. Everything in these engines is built incredibly strong because it needs to be. The more air you put in an engine, the more fuel it can burn and the more power it makes. The big intake on the top gulps air to feed the supercharger. This massive, high-volume compressor is designed to force air and fuel into the engine at such intense pressure that the fuel is almost solid before it ignites at over 1,000 degrees Celsius. Getting the fuel to burn is the job of 2 magnetos generating around 44 amps of electrical charge that fire 2 spark plugs for each cylinder. The secret ingredient is the nitromethane fuel itself. This does its own magic by chemically separating during combustion, releasing oxygen inside the motor, allowing even more power to be made. A massive fuel pump is needed to supply the motor with the 6 litres of fuel a second that it needs at full throttle. That's more volume than a fire hose at full pressure. This fuel is fed into the engine by injectors located above the supercharger, in the intake manifold, and directly into the cylinder heads. A Top Fuel dragster will actually use up to 80 litres during the warm-up, burnout and single 300-metre race. Exhaust gases exit via individual pipes for each of the 8 cylinders at such force that even if one cylinder stops firing, the pressure from the 4 on the opposite bank will push the car sideways on the racetrack. When all these components work together, the result is 10,000 brute horsepower and the most awesome ride in motorsport.
It is race day here at Sydney Dragway for the first round of the Top Fuel Championship. It is the East Coast Thunder event for the 400 Thunder Professional Drag Racing Series. It is a clear day here. We've got blue skies. It is a lot cooler than what we saw yesterday in qualifying. We are about to get underway with round 1 of racing. Rusty is down in the start line area.
Yeah, we're not too far away from the first pair. One half of that first pair will be Wayne Newby. Now, if you cast your eyes back, there's something a little bit different about this drag. So that is that canopy sitting on the top of it. You can see it in the flipped up position at the moment. This was a brand new car, made its first run in Australia on Wednesday evening. It has only made a handful of passes, so they are still getting their head around exactly what this car wants. But they are in the process of getting this car ready, not too far away from firing it up. It is a different kind of car to anything that we've seen here at Sydney Dragway before, but I can tell you it's not the first one that we've had in the country. Mark Sheehan has been running a canopy car over in Western Australia for quite some time with great results. Wayne Newby is hoping that he's going to get the same thing this weekend.
Let's have a look at the ladder for round one. Damien Harris, Kelly Betts and Ashley Sanford all get bye runs. Phil Reid to take on Wayne Newby. Why do they all get bye runs? Because that produces 4 cars to fight it out in the semi-finals to earn a place in the final.
Here we go, round one. Ashley Sanford, the first of our solo cars here, coming forward.
It is cooler than yesterday, Mark, but still in that low 30s area. So they're going to take what they learnt yesterday and apply it today, aren't they?
Well, that's it. And because the track's going to be a little bit cooler, they can probably get a little bit more aggressive. But do they want to be aggressive?
Well, the fact is that it's a solo, so Ashley is going to win, but you do want data and you do want lane choice if you can get it. So that's what they'll be chasing. Look at the crew there. The Rapisada team using gloves to just make sure there's no little debris on those tyres, because any little bit can just affect that traction mark.
And that's it. It's about maximising your traction on this racing surface. So every millimetre, thousandths of a second measurement, they want absolutely perfect.
Ashley Sanford concentrating on the Christmas tree lights. Her front wheels are in pre-stage. She will just edge forward. There's the second light. And she runs 398, 469. The supercharger belts off it again, Mark.
Yeah, you had cylinders out going down track. You'll see it here on the replay there on the right side of the screen. Cylinders are out. It wasn't a full pass, but I'll tell you what, 3.98 seconds. That's the quickest pass of the weekend so far.
And we've got Jason Hedges, pro stock standout, not racing this weekend. He's on microphone duty down the bottom end.
Thanks, guys. I've got Ashley here. She just peeled out of the car. It was at 398. How did that feel?
You know, it just felt good to get all the way down the track, and we got to put down, you know, a decent number on the board going into the next round where we're going to have someone next to us. And, you know, it was hot conditions, so to be able to get it down, I'm so stoked. So proud of my team. These guys have been working their butts off. So happy to be here with the Rapisadas. Here we go again, coming up soon.
The first thing you said, you got a mess to clean up as you peeled out of the car. You want to?
Yeah, no, it's a little messy back here, but like I said, these guys are the best. They'll be good.
Congratulations. Back to you guys.
Well, they're coming at it thick and fast. Here comes Damien Harris. He was our number 1 qualifier.
He ran a great 395 in qualifying to get that number 1 spot here. Has a solo pass to notice. He's taken the same lane as what Ashley Sanford did as well in her solo run.
Well, Santo Rapisado Jr., he will be looking to probably move down lower into that 3.9 area, maybe into the 380s, Mark?
It's a possibility. Well, the conditions are a lot better today than what we saw yesterday, but you know what? Each day the track is different as well. So even though it's cooler, the track, you know, it has its own personality as well, like the chassis of the cars.
And things are still warm here at Sydney Dragway. You can see most of the crowd packing into the shaded area of the grandstand. Getting quite friendly up there, that's for sure. Solos in round 1 put the situation that gives us 4 cars to fight out the semi-final in Top Fuel at the East Coast Thunder. Damien Harris is going there. Shuts it off early though, Mark.
Yeah, it looks like he might have started spinning the tyres about 150 metres out there off the start line for Damien Harris. Rolls through for a 4.37 second pass there, but you know what? They got a fair whack out before it started turning the tyres here. Look at the replay. Spun, he got off early.
Good driving.
It was a good drive job from Harris.
Let's have a look here. He will have felt that in the car. There's no question about that. He's down in the braking area now with Jason.
Here we go, Damien Harris just peeled out of the car. Damien, how was that pass for you?
Yeah, look, it seemed to leave all right, but then about half track it sort of felt like it got up on the tyre and started to smoke tyre, so I got off it. So other than that, it was all good, so we'll hope the next one will be a bit better.
Great stuff, Mutt. See you back here again.
They are all tiptoeing. You can afford to do that in a solo, but this one's a race.
Our only paired pass of the first round for Top Fuel. Wayne Newby on screen in the Canopy car has only had a handful of passes. The car only hit the track for the first time this very week here at Sydney Dragway. He will be taking on Phil Reid in the other lane.
Yeah, Reid's already done his burnout, back behind the start line. Crew chief, his brother, Bruce Reid, calling the shots, but with that tuning advice of one of the greats of NHRA Top Fuel drag racing, Jim Oberhofer. Worked for many years with Polita Motorsport. Has tuned people to championships and, well, many wins over there.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, that Phil Reid, they are so close to getting this car down the track in some pretty quick times. He's got a tough race against Wayne Newby, but these guys, it is a new car. It is absolutely anyone's race here in this round one pairing.
Yeah, the Titan Cranes Atlantic Oils car for Newby, it's a new combination. Good drag race. Was a good drag race till that supercharger belt came off, Mark.
Wayne Newby gets the win, goes 4.00 seconds, 473 kilometres per hour. Both cars with cylinders out. You'll see here on the replays, he gets a bit further down, cylinders out, drives it through the finish line, and he'll go through to the semi-finals.
Well, the cars are struggling to keep 8 cylinders alight, but Santino Rapisada has to be happy to be going into the semis.
Well, I'm down here with Tino Rapisada. Mate, that car's perfect on Australian soil now, 1 from 1.
It's definitely very satisfying for a new car to run like that, 2 runs in a row now. So we'll keep chipping away at it, and it's very hot out here, so we're trying our best, and we'll see how we go against Kelly in the next run.
4 flat in the heat. That's a very solid run given the conditions, mate.
Definitely gives you a lot of confidence when you can make it down a hot track successfully.
Does having the 3 cars help you as far as data collection? I mean, all 3 through to the next round.
This thing's actually acting a little bit different, so I'm still trying to get my head around it.
All right, well, Jason's at the top end of the racetrack. He's with the drivers as they get out of their cars.
Thanks, Rusty. Here I am with Wayne Newby. Wayne, your first win in the new car, mate. How was that for you?
No, it's pretty good. It's probably the first time we've been there under power all the way, so I don't know what it ran, but it felt pretty good. It moved around a little bit, but we're going on the next round, and all 3 Rapisada cars are going through.
Congratulations, mate. Well done.
Thank you.
Talking to Wayne Newby before the first round. That guy is tired. They have worked night and day to get that car ready, and it's showing some potential.
Okay, the championship defence now starts here with Kelly Betts. Round 1 of racing for the team. They lost in the first round of this event last season.
Yeah, but she went on to a 3-event winning streak and a title in her maiden season to become the first female in Australia to win any professional category of drag racing, let alone Top Fuel, the Formula One of the sport. Driving for the Lamartina family Top Fuel team, and of course for Fuchs Lubricants. This is an amazing young lady. Just a week and a half ago, she was in America racing at Orlando Dragway over there in the Jet Racing Super Compact car. So just the diversity of this girl behind the wheel.
Well, they've made 4 consecutive finals in this Top Fuel dragster at this very moment. 3 wins and a runner-up to finish the season.
Round 1 by. Well,
it's the tail of the tape.
That was dropping cylinders again. Just talk us through that. We see the flame go out and smoke start, Mark.
You can see they're a little bit too aggressive there. They got out about 60, 80 metres. You'll see the car then overpowers the track. The tyres will stand up and start spinning. And then that's pretty much the end of the day for this team here in round 1. They'll be in the semi-finals. Rusty down the start line with Phil Lamartina.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Down here with Phil Amatina, car owner for Kelly Betts. A bit of strategy at play. Very short burnout there, obviously, to try and keep the temperature out of the car. Didn't help, though. Smoked the tyres at the transition, mate.
Oh, we had a funny feeling that it was going to do that. Just needed to make sure you always check the boundaries. It was a solo, so you try and take advantage of that situation, and then we'll come back out in the semis and up against newbie, and we'll see how we go, eh?
I love that smile that you get on your face when you're in the middle of competition, mate.
Yeah, well, got to smile.
You got to keep smiling. I'll go down to Jason Hedges at the top end of the racetrack, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Kelly's just taken off all her safety gear here. We'll give her a moment. But, yeah, as you said, it wasn't the cleanest run. It was a 463, I believe. So we'll let her get a gear off and we'll have a quick chat to her. Pulling out all the safety gear. There's probably a mouth guard in there as well. Yeah?
Plenty of it.
How was that for you, Kelly?
Yeah, it came out pretty cleanly, but then obviously it just started to haze the tyre, so probably around half track, if not a little bit before. So anyway, it's a hot day. A couple of the other cars got down, but I think we probably had a bit of a stab at it too. So yeah, we'll come back out next round. Be a bit cooler.
Good luck for next round, Kelly. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Jason. And of course, that next round is the semi-final, and it's going to be a big one. Damien Harris to take on teammate Ashley Sanford, and Kelly Betts to take on this brand new canopy car for Wayne Newby. It is going to be a massive semi-final. We're going to have that for you after the break. Welcome back to Sydney Dragway. We are at the East Coast Thunder, which has been dedicated this year to the memory of Frank Palumbo, a local Sydney racer who lost his battle with cancer this week. We certainly do pass on our best wishes to his family and friends, that is for sure. Semi-final time now of Top Fuel and Mark Allen. This is set to be a great race. The defending champ, Kelly Betts, in the Lamatina car to take on Wayne Newby in this brand new canopy car for Rapasadas.
Well, the thing with Wayne Newby, he's undefeated, 1 from 1 so far.
He is. But Kelly Betts, they had a few problems in round 1. Didn't get down the track without breaking traction. She described we might have got after it a bit. So just a little bit too aggressive, you think?
A little bit there in that first round of racing, but you know what? It's about finding out the limits. What can this track take? Well, you know what? We just learnt you can't take that much. We've got to back it down a little bit here in the semi-finals. If they want to get past Wayne Newby, it's going to be a tough race. He had lane choice. He's taking that lane to the far off screen there.
And of course, great big news out of the Lamatina pits just a few moments ago. At the New Year Thunder at Willowbank in January 5, we've got 2 Lamatina cars.
That's right, the expat Richie Crampton will be driving one of the Lamatina cars at the New Year Thunder event at Willowbank Raceway. I'm like a kid in a candy shop when I heard that.
So Kelly Betts will have a teammate, but can she go to the final here? This is going to be a tough semi. All the way in the new car, 393, quickest pass we've seen so far, 471 kilometres an hour. The crew were absolutely ecstatic, but Mark, it looks like the same story for Kelly Betts.
Yeah, overpowered the racetrack, had cylinders out, started spinning. That gave Newby the chance to sneak by with the low ET of the event so far. The team have got to be happy with that. The car goes 2 from 2 so far. Rusty with Santino.
Yeah, occupational hazard of being a start line commentator is tears from Nitro Cars. Tino Rapisada. Mate, that's a win, 393. This car is looking very nice.
It's very satisfying to see it creep up like that. The weather's coming around, the track's coming around. It's we're feeling good about it, so we'll see how we go here with our other two cars, but all Rapisada final, couldn't be happier with that so far, and just a big thank you for the opportunity to run a car like this for my father and the family. It's very exciting to see it go out and run that well.
And it's a privilege to have you here as well. Now, Jason Hedges at the top end at the racetrack. I think he might be having Wayne Newby with him.
Sure do, Rusty. Wayne, you got the win. You're through to the final with 393. How was that pass?
Yeah, the car's still moving around a little bit down the bottom end. It's just taken a little bit to get used to with the canopy and that. But, yeah, it felt good and real happy for the team. It's been a lot of effort. Can't thank Sano, Tino and Junior enough for what they're giving me here this weekend. Thank you.
Well said, mate. Congratulations.
Here we go. Ashley Sanford from the United States. She's a California girl. And the former champion, Damien Harris, he wants that title back, doesn't he, Mark?
He does. He wants the title back big time for that team there. They were obviously the 2017 Top Fuel champion, but taken away by Kelly Betts this previous season. Ashley Sanford in the lane beside Harris, still looking for her first event victory as well.
Yeah, she has been runner-up in Top Fuel, but would love one of those 400 Thunder Gold Christmas trees that only go to the winners. Now, it will be an all Rapisada Autosport International final for Titan Cranes and Atlantic Oils, but will Wayne Newby be running against Ashley Sanford or Damien Harris? There is never team orders in this team.
Not at all. These guys want to put on a show for the spectators. It's over who can bring the game here on race day. Whoever gets to the finish line first, they deserve to be in the final. So that's the way this team runs.
So the crew chiefs there just playing with the last of the air bleeds, which control the idle of that car through burnout, etc. Great onboard shot. We see Sano Jr. there just cross himself and pats the wing to say, "Ride with me, brother." Ashley Sanford, the young girl from California, 399, 450 kilometres an hour, beats her better credentialed and hot favourite teammate.
Damien Harris runs a 408. It was a great effort from both cars there, but Ashley Sanford with the performance runs another 390 pass here. She's through to the final. We've got an all Rapisada final.
Great onboard shots. You just saw the car of Damien Harris so close. But it's a battle of the crew chiefs, and this time it comes down to Rob Cavagnino that did the better of it, Rusty.
Guys down here with crew chief Rob Cavagnino. Mate, that was a weird one. A lot of fuel came out of the car right at the head of the throttle, but it cleaned up and still went down the run.
Yeah, look, I could feel it on the start line, and it's like it was raining, but it wasn't. So, look, we'll have a look at the data and come back. I mean, obviously, at 399, we were hoping for a lot better than that, but we'll have a look at what it says, and yeah, we'll come out, and obviously we've got to run. We've got Newby in the final, and it's we want to win this one. It's the Nationals.
That's exactly right. That's what it's all about. 2 Rapisada cars in the final. Can't do much better than that, mate.
Well, no, but you just want the cars to go a bit better, and they will. You know, we just got to. It's the first time in 5 months, and we're trying some new parts, and everything's a bit rusty, but we'll get there.
Ashley just won. You're going into the final, the East Coast Thunder, 399, and the win margin of 79 1,000ths of a second.
You know, I did not know when I got past that finish line, because right as I got there, I saw Damo creep right next to me, so I knew it was going to be close. But man, how about that? After that long wait, 2 side-by-side awesome runs by the Rapisadas, I am so excited to go to the finals. We are getting after that gold Christmas tree today. Wayne, I love you, but watch out.
There you have it, guys. One happy lady.
She's that happy from a semi. Imagine if she wins the final. Well, we've just seen 2 fantastic semis. 3 buys in the first round set up that semi-final confrontation. Wayne Newby takes out Kelly Betts, and of course Ashley Sanford takes out Damien Harris. What a final we've got coming up in Top Fuel. have a massive final of Top Fuel Eliminator coming up here at the 400 Thunder Championship round. Sydney Dragway's East Coast Thunder it is. And it's all Rapasada Autosport International. There is that canopy high in the air for Wayne Newby. He's going to be taking on his teammate Ashley Sanford. They fought their way to this final, didn't they, Mark?
That they did. We'll have a look at the road to the final. How did Wayne Newby get there? Well, this is it. First round of racing. He took out Phil Reed in a great race there. Got the car to the finish line. Debut win for the car there. First round of racing through to the semi-finals.
Well, Reed was right with him at half track, and then that supercharger belt went away. Now, in the semi-finals, this was one that really mattered because Kelly Betts was going to do whatever it took to take him down, and she couldn't do it this time. An improving performance from the Newby car.
Yeah, they say low AT there. Then we look at Ashley Sanford, her way to the final. It was a little bit easier. She had a solo pass in the first round from qualifying third there. They almost got to the finish line under power with a great 3.9 second pass.
But it was never going to be easy in the semi-final. That's the whole idea of this 400 Thunder 3 buys in the first round. You've got to fight for it. Have a look at this one.
Against teammate Damien Harris, Ashley Sanford winning the race of the day so far. Takes a win by 0.07 of a second there and gets through to her second final on Top Fuel.
So Ashley Sanford is quite prepared to take on teammates and put them on the trailer. That's what she did to Damien Harris there.
Wayne Newby, debut event for this car, looking to go perfect. 3 from 3. How good would that be to start off the season for Newby in the new car?
Well, it has cooled down dramatically here at Sydney Dragway. Still in the, high 20s, but compared to the 39-degree heat we had in qualifying, this is almost Arctic for these guys.
The thing that excites me about this final is both these cars went 3.9 seconds in the semi-final. So Newby had lane choices, gone with the lane far up the screen. Sanford closest here.
Without doubt, anytime you get two Rapasada Autosport International cars side by side, you know that they are going to be fighting for it. And this beautiful new canopy car driven by Wayne Newby, well, we don't know whether we'll see Ashley back in Australia. If she inks that contract when she flies back to the States, you know, she may or may not be permitted by her new bosses to come out and run the New Year Thunder in January. We'll have to wait and see. But if this is her last race in Australia, wouldn't she love to take home the win?
How good would that be as well? Gold Christmas tree for Ashley Sanford. Her first win being in Australia. That would be absolutely amazing for the team and for Ashley.
Sanford in the near lane. Wayne Newby nearest to the grandstand. Final of Top Fuel. And it will be Wayne Newby. Quickest run of the weekend, 3.86 seconds, 505 kilometres an hour. They celebrate quite justly on the start line, but it was a good effort by Ashley Sanford as well, Mark.
It was a great pass from both drivers. Wayne Newby was runner-up last season at this event. He goes one better in the new car. He is the winner here. He will leave this event in the lead of the championship. You can see him streaking away there from Sanford. She gets her second runner-up in the 400 Thunder Top Fuel Series as well.
Have a look at this on the replay. The cars were pretty well together to half-track, and then, well, I think just starting to burn up some bits was Ashley Sanford, and Wayne Newby rockets away to claim the East Coast Thunder and claim the lead in the Australian Top Fuel Championship. What a debut for the car for Wayne Newby. He is down in the braking area with Jason.
You got it, guys. Top Fuel East Coast Thunder winner Wayne Newby. Brand new car, and there's the trophy.
Thanks, buddy. Mate, I can't thank the crew enough. Like, it's been a hell of a last couple of months getting this car ready and that, and to come out and debut it and to run the number we just ran then, pretty wrapped. The Rapasada family for having faith in me and let me drive their car. Thanks.
Absolutely fantastic. Wayne Newby does lead the Australian Championship on 114 ahead of Ashley Sanford, Damien Harris, Kelly Betts and Phil Reed. There's no doubt Top Fuel's been spectacular here at the East Coast Thunder. Thanks to Mark Allen for helping me bring you all of the action. And remember, we've got plenty more to come with the 400 Thunder season running right across the year.
Coming up after the break, we head to the Ben Motorsport Park in South Australia as we look back on the opening round of the 2018 Australian Endurance Championship.